Hello, and welcome to
The Women's Game.
The Women's Game. We're keeping it simple today, y'all. Like, I think it's because it's Friday, and we're like, it's Friday, y'all. We should be doing something.
Oh my goodness, does it feel okay? So it's
been nice this week. Yeah. It's been nice this week, and that's probably why we're like, oh, we should do something on Friday. And you're like, oh right, it's still COVID. Never mind. I'm gonna go sit in my car and just enjoy the air that has coming through the windows, right? That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Absolutely. I'm Jade.
And I'm Winona. And Winona's a bit distracted. I'm sorry.
I know. Wait, why are you distracted on your own show? Like, Winona, I'm gonna need you.
I thought I could host my show and be distracted.
Just for like one show. Just one. I'm begging
to act
you. One show. Yes.
No, because then I mean, what show would it? I mean, people be like, this isn't even the right show. I gotta turn the channel. Wait, I said channel. Never mind. Keep going,
wow.
Jay. Do the banter.
How old are you?
Old enough to be wise and young enough to be beautiful.
Okay, so anyway, whatever. We wrote literary life, guys.
Wait. Stop and appreciate the wonderfulness of that answer. Continue.
Oh my goodness. Okay, never mind. Well, no, I don't want to do anything today. I'm gonna go right.
Okay.
Okay, so we read Literary Life Guides for Pop Poetry, which is AKA our books, right? So we wrote, and I thought divorce was bad with other life lessons. And I thought being grown up was easy.
Yep.
All right, so those are available on Audible. And soon, If Only I Were Me, a memoir and verse will be available on Audible. Thank you, Joe. You're amazing.
Right.
Reading our books. She's amazing. And I'm just going to throw in like one random book today. And I thought I did my journey alone. Oh, there it is. Bam. Ran into like. So yeah, you can find out everything your ladies are doing on www.andwethought.com. Or if you're just wanting to look at it and just have a little glance at it, it's www.andithoughladies.com. It's still new, y'all. I'm still getting it together on that. All right, but y'all aren't here to hear about us. You're here to hear from our wonderful guests. Wonderful guests, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Laura Orrico, and I'm the owner of Laura Orrico Public Relations, based in Chicago and LA, and I'm also a TV and film actress.
That is fabulous. And we have a co-host today.
Yay!
Yes, we have a co-host. We have a co-host. Oh, wait.
Okay.
She's not there yet. Okay.
So I'm here. Sorry, I was still logging in.
Yeah, so weird. So, co-host,
would you like to introduce yourself? And then we're going to jump right back to Laura.
Okay. I am Tanya Todd, author, actress, and new podcast host of the 52 Love podcast. And I'm happy to be here.
Fabulous. Hi. It's great to have you, Tanya. So, Laura, wow, I'm about to mess up her name. Sorry. What are the 3 things you want the world to know about?
Oh, about in general or about me?
Yes, about you.
About me. Okay. I was the shyest kid growing up, and I always knew I wanted to act and dance and perform. So in high school and college, I kind of had to force myself out of my shell. And after college, I started taking improv classes at Second City, and I credit that to so much to this day. And well, there's that. And then now that I own a PR firm now. Acting is still in my life. It's still a hobby, but I work from home. A lot of people are just getting used to that now with COVID and everything, but my business has always been run from home. So it'll be 5 years old in April. So at the end of my day, you know, when most people finish up their workday, they get in the car and they go home. Well, I'm still here and I don't like that. So I don't like to go from sitting at my desk to sitting on the couch. So 5 o'clock every day, I make it a point to be done. I need to finish. I need to shut down. I mean, I'm always in tune with my clients and I will return phone calls and emails. But for me, it's important to get out of the house and live life to the fullest because life is short. You know, you have to have a really good life work balance and balance out relationships and life and work and friends and people. And that's so important to me.
Wow, that's amazing. So that means you already had the comfortable, like, back supporting chair before all of us were like, where is okay? And then all of them were sold out and had to wait forever. You already had one.
I had one. I've had this, yep. And I get a new one every couple of years. So important. Yeah. Oh, and I'm supposed to, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, but since it's COVID, did you feel that you needed to improve your desk chair?
You know what I needed to improve because of COVID? Because the first few months, I'm getting out now, but the first few months you really couldn't do anything. I started walking a lot. I would take my phone and work and walk. on my lunch break, in the morning before work, short little breaks after work. I just had to get out and get moving. So the chair is still good. I just had to change up my routine. And now the other thing I do that I started, a new hobby, is line dancing. I've been having a blast. I've met the greatest people, amazing DJs and dance instructors that have gotten us all through this difficult thing, especially people that live alone or, have been so cooped up during all this and just need to get out. So I've been doing that since September, and I will tell you, it has been the best. It's exercise, it's a great social activity, and it's been so much fun.
Were you already a good dancer?
Yeah, I grew up dancing, ballroom classes here and there, kind of self-taught, made it through my life dancing. I took jazz, tap, ballet as a kid growing up, and I've danced in movies and music videos and stuff like that. But line dancing is a whole different game. So that was brand new to me. A lot of learning. I'm catching on though, and I'm having a blast. I've learned so much, but I highly recommend it.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great hobby. Like I would never think of taking up line dancing, but now you have me interested in that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how you shifted though. You said that you had an actress, and then you shifted into being a PR agent. How did that happen?
So it's an interesting story, sad-ish, but it has a happy ending. So my husband passed away from a brain tumor. So he battled brain cancer. Thank you. He battled brain cancer for 8 years. And at the time we had both moved to Chicago, and then a few years later he was diagnosed, and we were in LA. And we were able to stay out there. He was doing really well, and he had a lot of remission periods where, we were able to get on with our lives and do things, but you learn to make that your new normal. And I hate the term new normal, but with something like that, you don't have a choice. So we made the best of things. We lived life to the fullest, and we moved back here in 2013. He was a graphic designer in TV and film. And within a few months of moving back, we moved here for that job and to be around family. And he was doing a little better, but it ended up being good. We were surrounded by friends and family here at home. So he passed away April 2015. So we're going on 6 years come April. And I took that year after he passed away to figure out what I was going to do next with my life. So you go through this stage of, it wasn't shock because I was prepared. And I had a good, healthy amount of closure. We had a great relationship. I have no regrets, only happy memories. And because of that, I'm able to move forward. But it was also just, oh my God, how am I going to make it on my own? Am I going to move back to LA? Am I going to continue acting and modeling full time? That's what I've been doing for work since I was 14. So I made within that year, I made a big decision to take on a job offer that I got. Because at the time, like, who's going to hire a TV and film actress? Nobody takes us seriously in the business world. So a celebrity friend hired me to do some PR for him. He knew I had always been doing it for myself and for friends. And I'm like, yeah, I'll try it. I tried it. I loved it. People started to catch on to what I was doing, and another person hired me. And then another person hired me. And then another person hired me. And then within 3 to 5 months of doing that, I officiated my business here in Illinois. I filed with the state, started an official business, and here I am, almost 5 years later, running a full service national PR firm, and we rep clients across the country.
That's amazing.
Wow. That's amazing. And I had a question, like, how did you find success? But I feel like that has been answered, and wow.
Thank you.
I feel like you found success just getting up and keep going.
Because grief is hard, y'all. Yeah. Grief is hard.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's so hard. You think of so many people go through tragedies. Everybody's struggling with something. Everybody has a different struggle, and they handle it in different ways. And for me, it was staying busy, not to ignore the icky stuff, but to stay busy. And I feel good when I'm surrounded by people. I feel good when I'm doing fun things. I feel good when I'm busy and on the go. Like, that's my personality, staying active and finding new things and learning new things. And then the business, really, I threw myself into that. They tell you when you lose somebody or you go through something tragic, whether it's a death or a divorce, don't get into a relationship within the first year. Don't buy a home. Don't start a business. Well, all of them. I broke every rule. And you know what? It worked for me. Within several months, I found myself in a relationship. It didn't work out, but we were on and off for several years and we remained friends. Then I started the business, and within 6 months, I bought a home. I broke all the rules, but for me, that's what worked. And everybody's different, and it's a part of the journey, But staying positive throughout adversity, I think, is so important. And I understand that that's not easy for everybody. Everybody can't do that, but for me, that's what I had to do.
Well, you've experienced a lot of loss in your life, and your joy is inspirational.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So we're gonna have our co-host ask a question now, because all the good questions come from Tanya.
Okay. You've all been great. Let's hear it.
Well, we'll start off easy. You said that you already worked from home, so I'm curious how the events of 2020 affected what you do.
Yeah, at first I thought we were going to take a pretty serious hit because I represent clients of different categories, from entertainment to business to restaurants, nonprofits, veterans affairs, things like that. So we had to find ways to shift our stories to positive, because at that time, everything was negative, right? That's all the news was virus and COVID, and then politics too. So you pair all that together and we have to push through that. So it made it difficult, our work more difficult, but we didn't really take a hit like I thought we would. We had a couple of clients in business that once their contracts were over, they weren't able to continue, unfortunately, because they were businesses that weren't essential, that couldn't be open, and
Right.
they were taking a big hit. So that was tough. You feel terrible because you don't want to see anybody struggle. But what we were able to do for clients is help keep them afloat, get the positive stories out there. But it impacted me in different ways. And it goes back to the working from home and the whole dynamic of the world changing, and, not being able to go to a restaurant or activities that I would normally do. That was difficult for me. Because like I said, at the end of the day, I like to get out. So that part made it hard, but I'm very blessed. I feel very blessed. Our business did not take a big hit, because I do understand so many did, and my heart goes out to them.
So I would like to know if any of the skills that you had as an actress and model were transferable over to PR. And then, of course, I want to know, what does a PR agent do?
Yes, good question. Yes, so as I told you, I started out doing improv to come out of my shyness, even though I had been performing as a kid. Well, in my improv classes at Second City, it wasn't all actors. It was a lot of people in business or in the legal field, teachers, lawyers, that had to learn to speak comfortably, kind of loosen up and speak off the cuff. So that paired with my own acting career, I treated it like a business. I handled my tax stuff. I handled my own accounting, my own money. Obviously, tax season, I handed off to my actual accountant, but I ran my acting career like a business. So many people don't do that. They get a big booking, a really high paying booking, and they blow it. I was always taught to save, and this commercial could be the last one I ever get. So with that thinking, not that it was negative thinking, but just being realistic, because it is an industry of a lot of unknown and uncertainty and instability. So you have to be prepared for that. And I feel when you're prepared for that, it helps you in the future. And then again, I learned so much about business from basically running my own business, the Laura Orrico actress business. So that helped a lot. And then the skills that are so important are people skills, personality, knowing that when you're on the phone, even if you're not eye to eye with a person, smiling, and being genuine. People like to work with people they like, no matter what business you're in. So I find I like to hire real people, very genuine, nice people that are patient and kind and are really good communicators. Communication is another thing that's very important in life. Obviously, in all of our relationships, but in what I do, being very responsive to media outlets that we deal with, our clients, even friends, people who work for me, everybody. I feel it's important to, return a text, communicate well, always get out the who, what, when, why, when, where. And there's never a tone in an email or a text. So that's another reason communication is important. You really have to think things out and really let your kindness and personality exude in a written message.
Yes.
Okay, so great. So now I don't feel like the slow is like I'm doing something crazy with it. And I'm texting and I'm like, wait, no. They're not going to get that unless they talk to me. Let me go back to that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I will do that too. I'll take forever. My friends laugh because business Laura is so different than social Laura. So I will voice text when I'm texting with friends. Mm-hmm. It's always a disaster, but it's funny. It makes me a lot. The words are wrong. You don't believe what I've told people before, but yeah, it's the communication is important.
It is. That's great. Keep client happy. Well, I know Tanya is going to have like our last.
Yeah, I want to piggyback on what she was just saying.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
Yes.
So I see that you're a connector, and to a lesser degree, the three of us here perform as connectors in our respective fields. Yes. Yet it's clear we have a lot to learn from someone like you. Communication skills and networking, those are often touted as keys to success in any industry. And I know that you cite both as your strengths. So I'm curious how you've channeled those assets into what you do for yourself and for your clients.
Good question. Absolutely. So my mind is always working. I'm a creative type. So in addition to the communication, I'm always thinking of the next creative thing that we can come up with to help our clients get their message across. So, we always got to think of each month, we'll do a meeting internally with my business at the beginning of the month. Okay, what should we do for such and such client this month? It's really about planning and organization. Being organized, never procrastinating, and being on top of things is so important. So that meeting we'll do on Monday, for instance, so Raquel, who works for me out of my LA office, we'll sit down and we'll go over each client that we have that month. And we'll come up with a plan. Then we'll email the client and say, what would you like to discuss this month as far as talking points? This is what we have in mind. So for us, it's really about, like I said before, the communication, but being able to create great stories that the news is going to, and media outlets are going to be able to.
Yeah, that's great.
And pick them up. We're giving them something wonderful is half the battle. So if I rattle off a pitch about a client, I don't give them details. What do they care? Because they get 100 to 1,000 pitches a day.
Right.
If I give them something great that they can work with, that's important. It has to stand out from everybody else.
Well, Nona, were you about to ask something?
Yes, I did have a question. As authors, we are always looking to get in the media somehow, and the media is like, you write books.
You write books.
This is not a problem for the two of us per se,
but
other people, for other authors,
for our listeners.
Yeah.
What can we do to make ourselves outstanding in a pitch, or how do we pitch?
Good question. So you got to think of who you are. Write down things about each of you, your backstories, where you came from. It doesn't always have to be related to you as an author. Sure, it can tie into why you wrote what you wrote, but what sells you? What sets you apart from everybody else? Do you have interesting stories, tragedy even? Sometimes you find, because I share my story about my husband, I don't do it for attention. I do it to share with somebody something I went through because it could help them. So I'm very open. So you'll read a lot of articles about me. And like you've said on my Facebook page, I'm very open. So I will share things within reason about my life because I know that somehow, some way I'm helping somebody that's going through what I went through or that's going to go through what I went through. So if you could think of each of you, how you grew up, other careers you've had, what you're doing now, where you want to be, exciting things you've done, things you've been featured in, if you've been in the press and media, and really capitalize on those bullet points that you'll come up with about yourself. And then when you pitch, you write a short little pitch line, a couple sentences, a very small paragraph. You don't want to send somebody a million things that they have to read through. Because like I said, some of these people might get 2 emails a day. Some of them might be getting 1,000. So make it stand out. Your subject line in your email is very important. You don't want to be salesy, because when you're dealing with the press and media, you have to remember the difference. It's not advertising. That's different. You pay for advertising. Public relations is earned media. So clients hire people like me. They pay us to get them into the press and media. We don't pay radio stations and TV shows and publications unless it's a paid advertisement. That's not us. So we do the earned media, and we help get our clients into that by doing a good pitch, researching the proper outlets that would be fitting. You don't want to blast off about your book to a food magazine if it has nothing to do with food. And you don't want to blast off a pitch to a food magazine about authors that has nothing to do about authors. So it always make sure it's a good pitch, and you know who you're talking with. Because that's impressive to a journalist, that you've done your research for their magazine, or a host for their radio show, or a producer for their TV show. When you've done your research and you know your talking point or your story angle is going to be perfect for their outlet.
Earned media is an interesting term.
Yes.
As soon as you said it,
I was like, if I write that down, it's gonna shake the camera, so I can't write that down.
I was thinking, I'm gonna rewatch this episode and take notes. You know,
absolutely. I know, right? It's like, I'm telling y'all a secret about, right? We watch it first, and then we put it up for everybody else. I know that's terrible, but that's what we do.
So you can edit out any errors.
No, actually, we watch it first just to learn, because as you're interviewing people, you're like, oh, that's a really good thing. I can't write that down right now, because obviously we're in the middle of doing a show. Right. So we watch it to be like, oh, there it is. Learn some stuff.
Learn what works and what doesn't too. It's good.
Absolutely. So we're out of time. So I have to come down to the last.
Tanya had one more question.
Okay. Yep, the last two questions.
The last 2 questions go to Tanya.
One question goes to Tanya. The last question.
Okay, well, if we're only going for one question, you do so much for so many people. What is the best way that the ladies' audience can support you?
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Visit my website. I have my, and connect with us on social media. So my Laura Orrico public relations website is Laura Orrico, ORRICOPR.com. And same thing, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can find us in LinkedIn, Laura Orrico Public Relations. And then my actress, the other Laura Orrico career, LauraOrrico.com. And then same thing, you can find me everywhere on social media.
Okay, so that's fabulous. So you took, thank you, Tanya. That's why you're the best co-host in the world. This is why you're the best. Thank you so much for joining us today, Tanya. Would you like to tell people where they can find you?
I am at MsTanyaTodd.com, across social media at Ms. Tanya Todd, the 52 Love podcast, and IMDb.
Absolutely, y'all check.
Don't forget to click on the IMDb.
Yeah, she needs those clicks, y'all. So
me too. I forgot about that.
Oh. So, Laura, your IMDb?
Yep, same thing. My name, Laura Orrico. IMDb.
Okay, fabulous, y'all. Click on it. People need jobs. That's how they get jobs. Click on them. Thank you.
We were told. That's what we were told. We have an IMDb page now, because everyone.
What job were we gonna get? What? Well, no, the narcissism knows no bounds. Knows no. Anyway, back to what I was saying. You can find out. You can find out everything the ladies are doing. You just destroyed my set at www.wethought.com, or like if you want to just get the
abbreviated version, then you can find everything that your ladies are doing concisely at www.andithoughtsLadies.com.
And just remember, y'all, wisdom is all around you.
You're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys, from Will Nona
and Jade. Bye bye. Oh yeah, thanks for listening.